Roth, Sammy Hagar, and Van Halen were all embroiled in a three-way feud that erupted around the 1996 Video Music Awards. Here's more on that big-time victory.
Hagar's left Van Halen. Have you heard this yet?
No.
Wow.
They are looking for a new lead singer.
Are you auditioning?
And I can play guitar.
In news from out of nowhere on Wednesday, it was confirmed that some sort of snit had erupted in the ranks of Van Halen. The singer Sammy Hagar, the man who replaced the orchidaceous David Lee Roth as the band's frontman a decade ago, was off sulking or cursing or whatever in Hawaii, while the rest of the band was back in the studio with none other than David Lee Roth, who'd returned to the Van Halen ranks to cut a new tune for an upcoming greatest hits album. And might be sticking around, or not. The situation wasn't exactly clear, although record company sources told MTV News that Hagar was indeed history.
We tried to be gentlemen about this, and I guess we're just going to get a little bit nasty right now.
You felt he didn't give 100% effort.
Put it this way.
No judgment, no judgment. Just a fact.
No, wait a minute. Bottom line, his work ethic sucked. Okay? Now, if he wanted to be in this band and be a team player, he would be here right now.
Hagar says he might have left Van Halen anyway, after criticism from the band of his lyrics and onstage demeanor, as well as its decision to release a greatest hits record.
I probably would have quit by the end of this year. I bet you if we wouldn't have done a record and the greatest hits record, they would have wanted to go out and do tours and press off the greatest hits record, I would have said, I am not doing it.
He put out a press release saying, I quit. A week later, he says I kicked him out. Now, you sticking the bull story, Sam? I'll take a lie detector test.
Good. Time to take one.
So what happened?
The truth of the matter is, the first thing that happened was that I was called by Eddie on Father's Day morning, you know. Eddie just goes, you know, you really frustrate me. You never do anything I asked you to do. And I'm going, well, yeah, I do. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, there really wasn't a problem like this in our whole 11 years of creativity. And he said, but you never do what I asked you to do, and I got so frustrated, I went and got Roth, and we've been working with him, and it's been working out great. And he goes, and you've always been a solo artist anyway, you might as well just go back to being a solo artist. Quote, unquote, exactly that. And I went, wow. I felt like I lost some friends out of this deal, and I really, really have.
Veteran singer Sammy Hagar, who was already a successful solo act before he hooked up with the brothers Van Halen, has beat his old partners back to the record racks with a new album called Marching to Mars and a single, Little White Lies, that entered the Billboard mainstream rock chart this week at #1.
But I was in the studio working on my record, and my guitar tech comes running and says, Sammy, Ed and Al are on MTV. You got to come and see him. And I go, he goes, man, they're talking trash about you.
Bottom line, his work ethic sucked. Okay?
So I took that song and I rewrote it.
This ain't about racism anymore.
No, this song is about Ed and Alex on MTV.
I'll take a lie detector test.
I'm not proud of being kicked out of one of the greatest bands in the world. I'm not going to go around saying, it's more flattering to me. So, yeah, I quit those guys, you know. I mean, I didn't quit the band. I would have never quit the band. It's 10 great years, one bad one for me. That band taught me a lot. I'm a better singer today, better songwriter, better guitar player. What more can anybody ask for?
Well, what happened at the MTV Awards that changed the nature of your relationship with David?
It wasn't his onstage antics, which for one I thought was embarrassing.
And disrespectful to Beck?
Very disrespectful to Beck, as he's trying to thank, you know, people, his acceptance speech, whatever. Dave's behind doing his shtick, you know, and it's like, I don't know. To me, it was embarrassing. But it was more so backstage, where he basically spit in my face.
Are you guys going to record, tour, or anything?
We've already finished several songs, and they are sensational. In a sense that what you always expect is that it won't add up. Usually when somebody reconvenes an act like this, a band like this, it doesn't add up. Age takes its toll. Not at all. Not in this case at all. And we have a spectacular producer.
I was going to say, speak for yourself. But we're going to work on a couple of videos for the songs, and then we'll take it from there and see where that leads us.
Roth, who rejoined the band in a studio recently to cut 2 new tracks for a greatest hits album, issued a press release on Wednesday claiming he'd been tricked into making that appearance, and that far from stepping back into his old slot in the group, he'd learned the band had already hired a new singer to replace the lately discarded Sammy Hagar, and it wasn't him. It sickens me, said Roth, that the reunion, as seen on MTV, was nothing more than a publicity stunt. I love these guys. Do I trust them? That question never entered my mind.
Did you ever tell him categorically, this is before MTV, that he would not be in the band and he would not be touring? Period.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I told him, quote
Ed's
unquote,
baby steps.
Wait. We get shuffled off to the first mob press conference, and everyone, yelling, screaming questions, and Dave just wasn't answering any of them. He was doing his up and bottom best piece with the pops. So I just kind of walked up and said, look, everybody, here's what's happening. 2 songs, best of volume 1. One of us would like us to do 2 videos, and that is it. And I said, December 16th, I need a new hip. Okay? So that's going to throw a little wrench in the works. Anyway, after about 3 of those, all of a sudden Dave's vibe changed. Now, instead of coming to me and saying, hey, Ed, come on, will you just not mention your hip thing? I had to go to him and go, Dave, what's the matter? What happened all of a sudden? You're just all happy and stuff, and now you're like pissed off and whatever. And he goes, well, hey, tonight's about me, man, not your hip.
Tonight's about me.
I just bit my tongue. I said, okay, Dave, the next one, you, Alex, and Mike will do it. Answer the questions. And I will not mention my hip. And I'll try and do my best impersonation. You better not. I went.
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty Ross, the manager, almost had to, because I was ready to, it's like all those years were right there. And I just said, you ever speak to me like that again, you better be wearing a cup.